Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like time has stolen something from you? That the face staring back isn't quite the woman you remember, the one who once turned heads when she walked into a room, who laughed without hesitation, whose eyes sparkled without effort. Maybe these days, you feel invisible. Maybe people don't compliment you the way they used to. Maybe you avoid cameras, avoid your reflection, avoid the very thought of beauty because it feels like something that belongs to someone else now. But what if I told you that you might be wrong? What if I told you there are signs, quiet, powerful signs, that you are still a beautiful woman right now, at this very moment, even if no one has said it aloud in years? Today, I want to show you something that too many women never hear after a certain age. Something that no mirror, no makeup, no wrinkle cream can fully reflect. These are the 5 unmistakable signs that you are a beautiful older woman, even if the world hasn't been kind enough to tell you lately. And by the end of this video, my hope is simple, that you begin to see what I see, what others see, and what maybe, just maybe, you've forgotten to see in yourself. Let's begin. Number 1, you carry yourself with quiet grace. It's not about posture, though you likely still stand taller than many half your age. It's something deeper, a calm, steady grace in the way you move through the world. It shows in how you listen when others speak, how you pause before answering, how your words hold weight not because they're loud, but because they come from a place of experience and restraint. You might not even notice it anymore. It might feel like second nature. But to those around you, it's magnetic. Margaret, 76, walks her dog through the neighborhood every morning at the same time. She doesn't wear flashy colors. She doesn't need to. There's something about the way she nods at the mailman, the way she gently corrects the children on their bikes when they get too close to the road, the way she carries herself with quiet dignity, it makes people look twice. Not because she demands attention, but because she simply is. There's a certain kind of beauty that comes from no longer needing to prove anything. You've lived enough life to know what matters, and it radiates from you in ways makeup never could. It's in how you sit at a dinner table, how you hold a cup of tea, how you take your time and make others feel like time slows down when they're with you. That is beauty. That is presence. And if you've ever had someone tell you they feel calmer around you, safer, more centered, that's the sign. It means they've noticed what you might not. Your grace is a light in the world. Number 2, you've stopped apologizing for who you are. Do you remember your 20s? The constant self-doubt, the fear of being too much or not enough. So many women spend their early years trying to shrink themselves to fit into places and roles that never really belong to them. But something happens with age, something magnificent. One day, you wake up and realize you don't have to apologize anymore. Not for speaking your mind. Not for your laugh being too loud. Not for saying no when something doesn't feel right. Not for putting yourself first, maybe for the first time in decades. That confidence, hard-earned, sometimes through heartbreak, sometimes through loss, is beautiful beyond words. It's the kind of beauty that can't be taught. It comes from a lifetime of learning when to stay silent and when to speak, when to bend and when to stand your ground. Rosa, 71, told me once, in my 50s, I started caring less what people thought of me. In my 60s, I stopped caring altogether. And now? In my 70s? I walk into a room like I own it, because I've earned that right. And she's right. Every wrinkle on your face, every gray hair, every scar, they aren't flaws. They're medals. They're proof that you've lived, that you've endured, that you've grown stronger than you ever thought possible. If you've reached a place where you can say what you mean, love who you want, and live how you choose, without needing permission, that is beauty. Raw, unapologetic, radiant beauty. Number 3, you nurture without needing recognition. There's a certain kind of woman who holds everything together, who remembers birthdays, who sends handwritten notes, who brings soup when someone's sick, who listens deeply even when no one asks how she's doing. She's the one people call when things fall apart. She's the one who shows up, quietly, consistently, without expecting anything in return. You might be that woman. And if you are, if you've spent your life caring for others, not because it was expected but because it was who you are, then you carry a kind of beauty that goes far beyond physical appearance. It's a beauty that lives in your hands, the ones that have held babies, wiped tears, cooked meals, and comforted friends. It's in your voice, steady and warm, a voice that has soothed children and comforted loved ones through grief. It's in your silence too, the kind that holds space when words fall short. Carol, 79, has never been what you'd call glamorous. She wears the same soft sweaters she's had for years. Her hair is always tied back. But ask anyone in her building who they trust the most, who they feel safest around, and they'll all say her name. Why? Because she listens. Because she remembers your dog's name. Because she shows up with a casserole before you even realize you need one. That kind of beauty doesn't scream. It doesn't wear perfume. It just is. It surrounds a person like a soft blanket on a cold day. And the older you get, the more you realize how rare that is. If people seek your presence during hard times, if your phone rings when someone's in trouble, if others feel stronger just by being near you, that's not just kindness. That's beauty. And it's the kind that leaves a mark long after you've gone. Now, if you're still with me, if this is resonating somewhere deep in your chest, hold on. Because what's coming next will speak to the parts of you that are often left unspoken. In the second half, we'll explore the final two signs, ones you might never have considered, and a conclusion you won't forget. Keep going. Number 4, you still find wonder in the world. There's a kind of beauty that doesn't come from what you wear or how you look, but from how you see. Have you ever caught yourself stopping to admire the sky at dusk when the light turns that soft pink you've always loved? Do you still pause when you hear birdsong in the morning or the sound of leaves rustling in the wind? Do you find joy in the little things, the scent of fresh brewed coffee, the way sunlight falls across your kitchen table, the feel of warm socks on a chilly night? If you do, then you carry within you one of the rarest forms of beauty there is, wonder. So many people lose it. Life gets hard. Bodies get tired. Loss carves holes we never imagined we'd carry. And yet, some women, some remarkable women, manage to hold on to that childlike ability to marvel at the world. That's you, isn't it? Not in a naive way. Not because you haven't seen pain, but because you have, and still choose to look for light. Sylvia, 80, walks with a cane now. Her pace is slower, her body no longer does what it used to. But every morning, she puts on a bright red scarf before leaving the house. Not because she wants attention, but because the color makes her feel happy. It reminds me of poppies, she once said, smiling to herself. I used to pick them with my sister when we were girls. I still see her every time I wear it. That's beauty. To carry joy after loss. To smile even when your knees ache. To wake up and find something, anything, worth being grateful for. That is not weakness. That is not pretending. That is a strength that very few people possess. If you've ever been told you have a sparkle in your eye, or that you bring warmth into a room, it's not about your looks. It's your wonder. It's the fire inside you that refuses to go out, no matter how long the night. And in a world so quick to grow jaded, that kind of beauty is breathtaking. Number 5, you make others feel seen. The most beautiful women are not always the ones being looked at, but the ones who make others feel seen. Maybe you've noticed it. The way someone softens when you speak to them gently. The way a stranger seems surprised that you remembered their name. The way people open up around you, not because they planned to, but because your presence made them feel safe. There's something in your eyes, a kindness, a knowing, a patience, that tells people they matter. And that, perhaps more than anything else, is a sign of true beauty. You've lived long enough to know what loneliness feels like. What being overlooked feels like. And because of that, you have become someone who refuses to let others feel invisible. You smile at the cashier. You compliment someone's earrings, or ask about their day, or send a birthday card even when no one else remembers. It may seem small, but it isn't. Emily, 77, volunteers once a week at a local community center. She doesn't run the programs or make speeches. She just sits and listens. One of the young women there, barely in her 20s, once said, "Miss Emily is the only adult who really hears me. When she looks at me, I feel like I exist." What could be more beautiful than that? You see the person behind the smile. You hear what wasn't said. You remember the quiet details that others forget. And in doing so, you remind people of their own worth, something most have been desperate for their whole lives. If someone has ever told you that you make them feel better, or lighter, or stronger, believe them. You have a beauty that heals. A beauty that listens. A beauty that does not age, because it lives not on your skin, but in your soul. Final thoughts. So here we are. Maybe no one told you these things before. Maybe no one ever looked you in the eye and said, "You are still beautiful." Not in the passing, empty way people sometimes say things, but in the deep, bone-deep truth that you are. You always were. And not because of smooth skin or a perfect figure or some fleeting definition made by magazines decades ago. No. You are beautiful because of how you carry your history. Because of what you've survived. Because of how deeply you love, how fully you listen, how bravely you still look for joy. You are beautiful because you've become someone others lean on. Because you walk through a world that often overlooks older women, and instead of shrinking, you shine quietly from within. So if no one else has told you lately, let me. You are beautiful. Not in spite of your age. Not in nostalgia for your youth. But because of the woman you are now, wiser, kinder, deeper than ever before. Don't let the world convince you otherwise. Don't wait for someone else's permission to feel radiant. Don't hide your laughter, your stories, your presence. The world needs women like you. Women who remind us what real beauty looks like. If you saw yourself in even one of these signs, hold that truth close. You're not invisible. You're not forgotten. You are seen. And you are still, unmistakably, beautiful. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I don't take it lightly. Your presence here means more than you know. And if this message touched something in you, I hope you'll share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Until next time, take care of that beautiful heart of yours. We need it in this world.